For Earth, Wind, and Fire, we will tell you during Week 7 who were the teams with the best ground attack, Earth, the best attack through the air, Wind, and the best defense, Fire. Up first, we have Earth. This one goes to D'Ernest Johnson. Now, if you don't know who D'Ernest Johnson is, I would not blame you because he just got his literal first career start. He is the Browns, not first, not second, but third string running back because Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are both out. If you did not see it, last Thursday, the Browns took their practice squad and beat the living daylight out of the Broncos. D'Ernest Johnson, on 22 carries, got 146 yards and a touchdown. That is 6.6 yards per carry. Now, usually when you have these situations, you say, oh, okay, he got one like 50 to 60 yard run and that inflated his average and made his day look better. No, this guy was getting 5 to 10 yards a clip on the Broncos. This was just domination the entire night. The Broncos defense looked bad, like very, very bad. Now, don't get me wrong. We had on this podcast even said that the Broncos were frauds, but we picked them because we thought, oh, well, surely the Broncos can beat the Browns' second string. No, they can't. We were wrong. They absolutely cannot. The Browns ran all over them with their third stringer. Congratulations to D'Ernest Johnson on the Earth Award. We will probably never give this to you again because, I mean, you have two Pro Bowlers in front of you. So sorry, but enjoy your one-time career award. I hope he gets another start. He looks incredible as a running back. I'm sure teams this week are going to be calling, trying to get a trade for him. Hopefully that works out. Up next, we're going to have Sergi with Wind. But before we tell you this week's Wind, we have breaking news. Do we have like a sound effect? Like a... There we go. Sergi, what is our breaking news? I hear that we have an elite quarterback that it just got traded.
This is crazy. I mean, we have been speculating about this like the entire offseason. I can't believe it's happening on the podcast right now. All right, so we are seeing quarterback. This is an elite quarterback by his own admission. Joe Flacco being traded from the Philadelphia Eagles to the New York Jets for a conditional sixth that can become a fifth-round pick based on playing time. I mean, this is crazy. You don't get to break this kind of, amazing, earth-shattering news on a football podcast every day. So I'm really glad that our listeners are here with us.
Yeah. And when I think sixth-round pick, I think Tom Brady.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. So what this really means is that the Jets are picking number 1 overall next year. Zach Wilson's injury is probably a little bit worse than we think. It might be more than 2 to 4 weeks. And Joe Flacco, after he got out of New York, is getting shipped right back to New York. So sorry, Joe. I love you in Baltimore always, but we gave your number to Marquise Brown. So
Joe Flacco's not elite. I'm tired of that talk.
I don't think anyone on this podcast would argue that Joe Flacco is elite. And if I ever have, I was not in the right state of mind. Please disregard anything that I've ever said during
We apologize for baiting you into thinking we were talking about Deshaun Watson. We absolutely were not, and we are bad human beings for what we just did to you.
But in the spirit of the AFC North, which Joe Flacco resided in and gave me ulcers in for so long, I'm giving out the Wind Award this week to Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Joe Burrow put up 416 passing yards and 3 touchdowns against the Ravens. Just one of the worst ever Ravens performances against the passing game. I mean, it not just Joe Burrow. I mean, you got to share this award with a guy named Jamar Chase. And once again, week after week, we've been talking about how Jamar Chase has looked every bit the high draft pick that he's had been. And it's crazy how, like, last year, there was this conversation like, oh my gosh, Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is amazing. Justin Jefferson is doing things no rookie has ever done before. And then now we're like, hey, there was a guy in that offense who was like better than him in every single way. And he's coming to the NFL next year. And now we're seeing what Jamar Chase is doing. But yeah, Jamar Chase, 8 catches, 201 yards. He had that 82-yard breakaway touchdown where He got a free release on one of the best corners in the NFL, Marlon Humphreys. Then all of a sudden he gets tackled, breaks 3 tackles from 3 different people, rolls over,
I
and
loved it.
just outruns everybody. He is so good at football. Him and Joe Burrow are going to be a lethal combination. I am very sad that they are both in the AFC North, but I am very happy because that is amazing quarterback to receiver play. And I'm looking forward to seeing what these two guys can do for years to come.
We
Sergi.
just got rid of AJ Green, and now they get Jamar Chase. I'm actually so salty right now.
It's not fair. We get rid of AJ Green. We get rid of Antonio Brown. Odell Beckham comes in, and apparently Odell Beckham has other priorities besides playing good football. And now we get stuck with Jamar Chase. But
Sergi, isn't Joe Burrow a quarterback too, though? Isn't he a QB2? Isn't that what you were saying to me all this year?
Look. This is his first great game. His second great game. He's had like 2 great games.
Two great games. And he was coming off a torn ACL. I mean, that's a thing that happens.
Just for clarity, Zach and I share a very unsuccessul fantasy football team.
What are you talking about? We're coming off 2 dubs.
Yeah, 2 dubs after starting out 0-5, and Joe Burrow was one of the players that we dropped for I don't know, some random running back, but if I talk about this, I'm gonna get angry. Don't you bait me. Don't you bait me, Zach.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Zach,
We'll go ahead,
I think you got a fire award to give out.
I do. We got fire in our chest, like the heartburn that dropping Joe Burrow should cause you, Sergi. The fire award is going to none other than the Tennessee Derrick Henrys. And it's not because they were particularly great. It's because they were great against a great quarterback. I mean, they annihilated Patrick Mahomes. All of the work that the Chiefs did in the offseason to try and get him a better offensive line didn't work. That man was getting hit the entire game. He actually ended up leaving the game and missing the rest of the game. I think it was in either the late 3rd or early 4th on a vicious hit from Jeff Simmons, who was one of the previous, kind of like hyped up draft choices by Tennessee, who hadn't really panned out until this year because he was coming off a 20 ACL last year. But the dude, Mahomes is already getting hit, and Simmons comes in because Mahomes, he plays hero ball, man. That guy throws a football from every which direction. I mean, it's incredible to see. He's one of the most talented passers I've ever seen. But he comes in and he knocks out Mahomes pretty much literally. I mean, I get it. Mahomes doesn't have a concussion, apparently. He cleared the protocol and everything. He said he's fine now. But I don't know how much I believe it after that hit, because that was a nightmare of a hit.
He was helped off the field. Like, people had to help him off the field. There's no way this man didn't have a concussion.
He had both arms. Like, he just got slugged in the mouth at a bar. Like, it was awful, unfortunately.
And then NFL was like, no. Your brain's not important. Money. Get back out there.
Exactly. Money is where it's at.
It's just like Daniel Jones hit a couple weeks ago. This concussion protocol, they have some like Mario Kart Express route going on. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but these guys are clearing that protocol. Their baseline must be so low.
It has to be.
Are you unconscious? You can keep playing.
I don't know if you guys heard this though. Not to derail us too much on this, but a couple years ago there was like an exposure, or I guess the exposing of the NFL's protocol system, because what players will do at the start of a season is they will like literally dumb themselves down as much as physically possible without looking like they're acting. That way, if they do suffer a concussion, they can't be identified by that private neurological doctor. It's bananas. And I'm fairly certain that that's exactly what quarterbacks do, because you can't lose your starting quarterback. So I don't know. Anyways, at the end of the day, I think it's awesome that the Tennessee Derrick Henrys have the fire award, considering they're the first people that I think of mostly at the running back position for Earth of getting this potential award every single week. So there you go, guys. That's that Earth, Wind, and Fire this week. Let's move on to the regular awards.
First things first, we have the Odell Beckham Jr. One-Handed Catch Award, and this goes to, surprisingly enough, Giants quarterback. Yes, that's right. Let me say it again. Giants quarterback Daniel Jones for, let's be honest, probably the most impressive catch of the season by any position, including wide receivers and tight ends. It was insane. It's like he took the two infamous like Giants Super Bowl catches and combined them. He like started off with the Odell Beckham Jr. one-handed catch, and then he brought it into the helmet catch. Like he converged both of those Super Bowl catches. I guess like they know they're not going to the Super Bowl this year, so they just thought they'd do it in the regular season. But it was bonkers, and the fact that was a quarterback doing that, insane athlete. They did mention in the post-game show he apparently he's a big basketball player, and I'm guessing that's where his hand skills came in. I did not see that coming. That was incredibly athletic. Honestly, I think right now Daniel Jones may be a better wide receiver than Odell Beckham Jr. Don't at me. What do we have next, Zach?
Next up, we got the Butterfinger Crisp Bar Slippery Hands Award. It's a long one, guys. Sorry about that. That's going to Jimmy Garoppolo for throwing 2 terrible interceptions, fumbling the ball once, and getting away with another fumble that was saved only by a delayed false start call, which the officiating in the NFL is terrible. But that's a whole different conversation. Obviously, the rain didn't help this, kind of premier quarterback based out of California with his beautiful looks and his hair and his face. But he's bad at football, and he deserved every little bit of this award. He does not look like a starting quarterback.
So bad at football.
Bad at football. Serge, what's the next one?
The next one is the only quarterbacks can win MVP award, which goes to the Tennessee Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry for giving me PTSD to the Ravens wildcard game a couple of years ago and throwing another touchdown pass. I mean, what are they going to do without Derrick Henry? He is the team. He is the Derrick Henrys. We don't even call the Tennessee team by their proper name because they are nothing without this man. He can pass. He can run. Probably can block. I mean, I don't know. He's probably a 5-star chef. He can do absolutely everything. So, everyone was talking about how MVPs can only go to quarterbacks. To Derrick Henry is like, no, shut up. I am my team. Here, look what I can do. Remember this? Remember passing from the 5-yard line.
I too am a quarterback. All right. Up next, we have the Florida Man Award, and that's going to go to Dan Campbell for going full Florida man during the Lions-Rams game, basically digging as deep into the playbook as humanly possible, coming up with onside kicks, all kinds of fakes. This man looked like he really wanted that win for Jared Goff. It's just such a shame that his quarterback was Jared Goff, or he would have pulled it off. But I love this mentality that he brings to this game of like, I don't care, dude. We're going to lose. I don't care. We're going to try to steal this game no matter what it takes. Like, we're going to be in headlines more than any Florida resident this week. We're going to do it. We're going to be the headline this week. So congratulations, Dan Campbell. You've earned the headlines. You've earned a place in our hearts. You are this week's Florida man.
Stole 2 possessions. Stole our hearts. Could not steal the game.
And finally...
I got the last award here, guys. Also, credit to Rob on the Only Quarterbacks Can Win MVP award. I thought that was the funniest award that we've come up with so far, and it was all him. So good on you, man. Anyways, last award is the Shaq at the Free Throw Line award. I don't know if you guys know a lot about Shaq at the free throw line, but there's literally something called Hack-a-Shaq that was created because he was so bad at shooting free throws. It was made a joke in Scary Movie 4 that he had to make a free throw to save him and Dr. Phil's life.
Oh, and Saul? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And they died. I mean, it's been long enough I can give you the spoiler. They died. So the Shaq at the Free Throw Line award is going to be going to none other than Jalen Hurts. In the NFL, you're expected to hit at least over 60%, but generally speaking, about 62 to 63% of your passes. This man is completing under 53% of his passes last week, and this year has been super underwhelming. His numbers are higher than that on the year, but a lot of his passes that are dink and dunk, aka the easy to completes, are even kind of a struggle right now. I really hate to say this because the dude is a fantasy stud, but Jalen Hurts is looking like an NFL dud, and I think the only thing that could save him at this point is a relocation to another team. Hopefully I'm wrong, but in the meantime, Jalen, You got the Shaq at the free throw line award. Add that to your resume of pretty awesome accomplishments from college.
Congratulations on all of this week's award winners.